I loved it. I've gone on record as saying that I loved it so much that as soon as I finished reading it, I went straight back to the start and read it again. And I think what's so great about the play is that even though it was written 6 or 7 years ago, it's really tapping into the zeitgeist of where we find ourselves now. It's talking about climate change and the existential threat of the climate crisis. I think it's about identifying how Lucy is using this very ordinary and domestic setting as a metaphor for those bigger themes. This isn't some sort of play set in some sort of dystopian future. This is not science fiction. This is happening right now. It's responding to events and challenges that we are all facing right now. And so by placing it in an ordinary world with ordinary people that we recognise and that we relate to, it means that it heightens the immediacy of the play. It's a much more potent and powerful exploration of what's happening to us and with the planet. The Children is a play about personal and moral responsibility. It's about the decisions that we make now and how they're going to affect future generations. It's really about what kind of planet do we want to leave our children. Hazel, Rose and Robin are all retired nuclear physicists. Hazel and Robin are married. They've been married for over 40 years. And we learn throughout the play that Rose is Robin's former lover. As the play progresses, we discover that they were all instrumental in the design of a power station, which has a key design fault in it, so that when there is a freak earthquake and then a subsequent tsunami, it triggers this nuclear meltdown. Well, first and foremost, we have to honour the world that Lucy Kirkwood has created in the play. It's set in a stone cottage owned by a relative of Robin's, and Hazel and Robin escape there when their house is destroyed by a tsunami. And so, as the script says, it's about two people making camp in this house. It's a hodgepodge of bits of furniture and essential life items in the kitchen that they can use to get by day to day, but it's not their home, and so it can't look like it's their home. Framing the cottage is an epic design created by Vic Lamb, which speaks to the scale of the disaster that's taken place in the area around the cottage. Vic and I talked about the idea that this disaster is pressing down on the cottage and on the lives of the three people in the play. And so you have the ordinary and the domestic juxtaposed with the sort of epic nature of what's happening in the play and thematically what the play is doing. Well, in terms of a nuclear power stations need to be built next to a reliable source of water, a lake, a river, or an ocean. Power stations draw the water up into the reactor to keep the reactor cool, and then they dispense the warm water back to the water source. So just purely around the idea of a nuclear power station, that's why the ocean is important in this play. But the cottage that Hazel and Robin are living in is also built on the edge of a coast, and gradually the cottage is sinking. The coastline is being eroded away. And so you could use that as a metaphor for what's happening to the planet, that we are on the precipice, we are on the edge of a cliff, and if we don't start making some hard decisions, some hard choices, we're going to fall off the edge of that cliff.